So pressing the button. So hopefully, surely, okay. This thing tells me that we are live for 5 seconds already. So how about we just get started, guys? Hello, everyone, on this amazing, what is it, Tuesday. So happy to be here, finally talking to you guys. There's been so much activity and just so many changes, as you know, from, I don't know, from Discord, from all of our communication. And we were just so busy with lots of things last week. No, 2 weeks ago, we were meeting in Ferrara with a lot of different stakeholders here. A lot of people from the team came to Italy. And we've been discussing so many things and making sure that the project moves on full speed, that the community is happy, that the hoteliers are happy, that all the airline people are happy, and whoever else may use the Winding Tree platform is happy as well. And all that stuff is in the transparency report. Hopefully you saw it yesterday. The link is on Discord, and we're going to be adding the link down in the description of this video. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me introduce Vladimir from the Winding Tree team, who is going to say a few words before we start answering the questions that are in Discord and otherwise. So, without further ado, Vladimir.
Thank you, Max. Thank you for the mood. Really nice to be here. And I would love to start to apologize for in front of our community for some missing of previous MA sessions. As you mentioned, we are quite busy rearranging, doing things, and yeah. So now we're here. Now we are ready to reply, especially. Big thanks to the community to pushing and helping us to create this transparency report, which also helps us to see where we are now, where we're moving, and it's really a good tool to have at this very stage. So today we are going to answer the question that arrived on our Discord channel, and there will be Max, you know him very well, and there will be Vincent, our head of partnership, the person who is probably the most experienced person on the team in hospitality, because he is from the family that has a hotel, still has a hotel. And yeah, Vincent, could you please tell us some words about you, and we proceed?
Sure. I think we had a previous session together with Luca a couple months ago, also on the YouTube channel, a live stream. I also think an AMA session. Again, very late AMA session, but you addressed it already, Vlad.
Yeah, but this is already maybe some new people listening, and yeah. Really repeating this information is not in vain. So just don't be shy. Give us this replies.
So yeah, what I do at Winding Tree, I talk to all the partners, right? Talk to the hoteliers, and I think in a Web3 term, you could call it a translator, right? A translator between the hospitality and travel side of things to the technical team and product team, I would say. Yeah, in this project, in this transparency report, I was the liaison between the different people that worked on the transparency report, and primarily Max. We wrote the content together with yeah, a couple more people. Yeah, what you said, Vladimir, makes sense. It's for us in the community. It's great to show this transparency. It was also needed, right? After some time, people raising questions, which were fair, and it also told us to, okay, we need to be more transparent, but also more communicative, right, in our plans. So that's that's also one of the major reasons why we did this transparency report. And yeah, that's it from my side.
Could you please give us some insights that you had? Like we were together in Paris, in Barcelona at the ETH Barcelona. So maybe some insights quickly, briefly, what you've heard from the hoteliers from that side of the community, and what you've seen in Paris at the conference at ETHDC.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's fair to say that I would say, there were a lot of learnings that we took from Barcelona, but also from Paris. And primarily in Barcelona, we had quite a lot of supply sides, so to say, hoteliers. We had 9 hoteliers signing up with us, which was great, right? Which was actually more than in Amsterdam, and we had a great variety of choice, and a lot of enthusiasm about the product, about our project, and even major chains, right? In Paris, for example, we had Hyatt and Le Méridien and a large local hotel group. Whereas when I joined Winding Tree, it was quite apparent for me, or quite, okay, we're not going to take on the big chains from the very start. Maybe we focus on the independent hotels, but actually, to my surprise, a lot of big chain hotels are also more an individual strategy. Also quite happy with our product, and actually make the move on. Wouldn't say integrating with us, but yeah, going with the flow with us, and trying to find a possible solution to work with us. So yeah, I think that's one of the key takeaways for me, that we have to be open about that as well, that we're not only talking about independent hotels, but also, big major chain hotels.
As it was in Amsterdam, like with Hilton, right?
Yeah, exactly. In Amsterdam, we also had Hilton. And apart from that, we had a few independent hotels. Zoku, one of the guys that we're still working with, right? And I think from the conference itself, we also wrote this in the latest article that we brought out. But again, there were on the conference no speculation about price, no talks about the downturn of crypto. It's really still about building. And again, I always emphasize on that. But in Amsterdam in April of this year, this was the same kind of vibe and the same conversations that we had. And back then, crypto was, ETH was around 3,000, I believe, $3,000. More or less. And when we were in Barcelona, it was, I think, 1,000, right?
Yeah, approximately this.
A great vibe, a great conversation, about building stuff. So I'm very happy with that. And it was actually, for me personally, it was also the first time in Paris that I saw Vitalik, which was great. And yeah, that's good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vincent.
Thank you, Vincent.
Max, do you have anything to add about this, or shall we move to the questions?
I don't think so. And thank you guys for being here. And maybe you could add and clarify a few of the questions that we're going to talk about. And yeah, as Vincent explained. Oh, my pleasure as well, sir.
Yeah.
So how about we get started?
Yeah. Let's do it. Shall I be reading the questions, and we see who replies to them?
Yeah, let's try. I'm going to take most of them, and if Vincent, Pedro, or maybe yourself, if you want to take and answer one of the questions, yeah, we can do something like that. So
okay,
let's do it. But actually, sorry.
No worries.
I'm working for the past few days, sort of full time, going through all of the financials with the help of Veronica, who was overseeing all of these activities. And we're creating a very, very comprehensive report on how the money was spent over all these years, over the course of all these years. And, we're going to be putting that stuff, that data, into the report that we publish. It's going to be on the same link. And of course, we're going to send a message when that stuff is going to be there. So it's super exciting stuff. Again, I'm all for more transparency, and now we can finally start. Thank you, Vladimir.
Yep, let's go. So the first question also is the monthly rate. Okay, so it was the question about the SIMMERT and the monthly rate of 1.2 million each month, or should I read it like 1.2 million over 1.5 years?
Correct. So basically the question is, in the transparency report, we said that Winding Tree gave SIMMERT $1.2 million over the course of 1.5 years, so over 1.5 years, right? So no, that's the total amount. And in fact, that amount has been reduced after a recent board meeting. Basically the contract was supposed to expire by the end of the year, but we're changing the duration of it, so it's going to be even sooner. Yeah, a very simple answer.
Yeah, cool. Because I also, like, when I was reading the report, I also paid attention to this paragraph that it was like could be misread. So nice to clarify.
Okay, maybe we should clarify it there. So again, people don't have questions like that.
Yeah. What if Winding Tree has no success in raising additional funds? What would you offer in exchange for raised capital? So, like, may I reply to this first?
Yeah, go ahead.
We will do it. Then you go.
There you go. All right. No, I mean, my answer to this is, what if the Earth stops spinning? What if the sun doesn't rise tomorrow? I don't know. All sorts of bad things could potentially happen. I agree with Vladimir's optimism, and the team is, again, very, very optimistic. We're creating something valuable here. I don't think why this should be the case, but I also cannot discount the possibility that potentially that would happen. And well, I mean, as any experiment, as any new thing that we're trying, I mean, in the startup world, which again, Winding Tree is not your average startup, or maybe not a startup at all, but really a socio-economical experiment. Yeah, we stop working on that. It is entirely a possibility, but as with anything else, right? Again, what if the sun doesn't rise tomorrow? What would you offer in exchange for the raised capital? We already gave lift for the exchange capital, and again, we do everything that's in our power to promote lift. Again, as was described in the transparency report, sort of the logic should be clear. And perhaps we'll see some questions about the logic, like the logical train of thought here. I'd love to talk about it. So yeah, that's that.
Thank you. Shall we skip the financial questions, or we'll go?
Yes, it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be in the report. It's gonna be in the next 2 days. Everything is going to be there.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess it was Paul from the community who was asking this question about the ETH, number of ETH. So Paul, apologize not to answer this question right here, but you will have the full report as Max promised a bit later on. Thanks for these reports, but it seems the end, isn't it? No, it doesn't. Also, how do we spend 1.1 million in 6 months? Do you have a lot of charges? Could you be a little bit clear on the subject, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the next 6 months, the timeframes are kind of funky in the sense of they're not funky. It's just the reality of how the world works, right? So you have a big gap where actually 2 gaps, I would say, per year, where I don't know, you cannot talk to any corporates, all people are on vacation. So that's, of course, around Christmas time. And that's, of course, during the summer, right? That's where you build. So our plan is in the next 6 months to arrive or to be on track to have 5,000 transactions, right, per month. And in order to achieve that, we calculated and we said, we will increase the spend a little bit because we will need a marketing budget. We will need a budget for reaching out to hotels and, I don't know, connecting those 2 different audiences together. Of course, the product needs to be done. SIMMERT people, actually, from the SIMMERT side, are going to be helping Winding Tree quite a bit, or already helping Winding Tree to move things forward. So all of that requires a bit of an additional expense. Again, the numbers are changing every time. 1 month's expenses, I don't know, 50K. Another month it's 100K, depending on marketing, depending on how many conferences we're going to go. So our conservative estimate is that we will spend about $1 million in the next 6 months in an effort to get to the result that we're expecting here. Perhaps there will be some money left after that. Very, very probable thing, but that's the plan so far.
Okay, thank you. So let's move on. When will be the marketplace online again?
Very soon. The marketplace will not be the same as you knew it before. If you remember the marketplace that a couple months ago, we turned it off simply because the marketplace was not really a marketplace. I mean, you could go there and you could see all the companies that created their profiles. But mind you, that was on Ethereum mainnet, and in some cases, those companies were paying, $100, $200, $300, $400 for creation of that profile. And as you know, again, from the transparency report, from our other communication, we are porting those smart contracts, putting them on the Gnosis chain onto some other L2 chains. And so you will see that very soon. You will see another marketplace very soon, but it's not going to be just a page where you go to and see companies that created profiles and you couldn't really do anything. Because, and I guess I can talk about this a little bit, the problem that we encountered over and over again when we approached hotels and said, okay, guys, here's the thing. Here's how the whole thing is going to work. What you do is you create a profile. Your profile sits on the blockchain, so no one can control it. I mean, you're the sole owner of all of your data, your profile, et cetera, et cetera. All you need to do after the creation of that profile, or maybe even before, is to put your API into your profile, right? And that's where we hit a snag every time, because hotels are saying, AP, what are you talking about? Or they said, oh yeah, I know what API is, but I cannot do that because I'm going to have to talk to provider of my software, to the property management system or central reservation system, all the different bits and pieces and software that they have, and ask them very nicely to give us an API endpoint that we could then insert into the profile. But again, it's a little bit more complicated than that. The API has to be changed ever so slightly, but still there is a change. And of course, on the sort of list of priorities of those PMSs and CRSs, it's not anywhere near the top. So we would have waited for probably years to do that. And that's why, if you remember, we started developing rooms. So the new marketplace would work differently. The new marketplace, there would still be a company registered, there would still be a profile. Rooms will be connected, as you know, it was even to the previous marketplace, and then was connected to Glider. That's going to be there. And again, in the transparency report, I mentioned how we're sourcing inventory to seed the marketplace through one of the providers of hotel inventory. So that's how that's going to work. So the idea is that as a user, you never go to the marketplace and just see a list of companies. Where you go to is a hotel booking website where you see hotels, and guess what profiles of those hotels where they're stored. Of course, they're stored on the marketplace, or rather using the underlying technology that's called Org ID. Sorry, very long answer. Sorry, I'll just shut up at this point.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Details. Devil is hidden in the details. So let's move on. What is Simar doing at the moment without the marketplace?
I think I also addressed that in one of the messages, or maybe in the report. I don't even remember. But
let's just revise.
Without the marketplace, what does it mean? What we removed, what we turned off, was just a web page, right? the underlying smart contract is still there, and we cannot turn it off. I mean, that's not how smart contracts work, right? So Simmer right now, working with our partners, is using this org ID smart contract that is the base of the previous version of the marketplace. And of course, it's going to be the base for all sorts of activities on the new version of the marketplace. So the marketplace is still there. You just cannot see it, right? You could create a website, or you could clone a website for the marketplace to access all that data. But again, you just won't be able to see any of the transactions because those are entirely peer-to-peer. So yeah, and what else?
About the
And Simmer, of
activities,
course, correct. The Simmer does all sorts of different activities besides just. I mean, there are connections, the transactions are flowing through Simmer using org ID. But of course, the activity in terms of onboarding new partners never stops. So that's a lot of activity in that regard is going on.
okay, can we name some names, or it's not appropriate? I mean,
they're all in the transparency report. Look it up.
Okay, thank you. So let's move on. Who is the part of Winding Tree, and how many hours are the team members working?
I never know at this point. We have around 15 people working full time. Again, as I promised in the report, there is a section that's missing that's related to headcount, full-time equivalent, stuff like that. So that's all going to be there. Right now, I think it's safe to say about 15 people doing all sorts of different things.
Yeah, just like to make it clear, plus minus, what do you think the deadline for the report can be for the second part of the report?
So it's summer, as I mentioned earlier. Summer is when people take vacation. So our dear Mohi will come from her time off very soon. So and she'll work on the FTE and HC full-time equivalent and headcount report. And
so can we say by the
she has to tell us when that's going to be done. So
okay,
give her a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So let's say a couple of weeks. The financials will be much sooner.
Okay, so let us say by the mid of August we will have
absolutely
okay,
correct, all the data. That's missing.
Just to avoid the questions about when this happening. So like, what is the status of partnership? I guess it's the question about like partnership between CMART and Winding Tree, but it's clear right now.
Hopefully it's clear. I don't know. Again, from the questions here, I don't see any questions about the partnership. Really.
Oh, okay. Can they
going strong? Here's the answer. Going strong, very strong.
Very strong. Good one. Can they get more involved in the DAO? So I guess it's the question about like, can CMART get involved into the DAO?
We had this conversation sort of a while back about incentivizing and motivating our partners to be proactive, I guess, I don't know, do more stuff, be more excited about, motivating them with tokens. That it's just a thought at this point. Maybe it will remain a thought, but the DAO will be controlled by the LIF holders. So again, plans in that regard are formulating. Again, as I said in the transparency report, I think we should not put the cart in front of the horse. So we absolutely need to establish the flow of transactions through the system. We need to solve that conundrum first, and then finalize all the plans about DAO, moving the token, and registering in different exchanges and all that. So that's the plan.
Okay, thank you. CMART Pay, is it ready for customers? What is missing?
It's being used right now, as far as I know from the Steamer team. It's being used by Steamer partners.
And as far as I know, it was used in Amsterdam, right?
It was used in Amsterdam. Steamer indeed helped us. It wasn't quite the Steamer Pay product, but Steamer helped us with conversion of crypto into fiat, again, as I say in the report, for sending money back to the Hilton hotel. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I may just add on that,
yeah, sure.
that was our pilot, right? And obviously, Simart was and is a great way to provide that solution to hesitant hoteliers, right? And obviously, we want to create a future without too many intermediaries, but we have to start somewhere, right? And this is a great solution to get things going, and to convince those hesitant hoteliers that we so desperately need, right?
That's correct.
Thank you, Vincent. How do you want to communicate with the community or other businesses? So here probably
we have special people for that.
Exactly. Again, I began this conversation with apologies to the community because we do miss some communications, and still there is a lot of things to be improved in the future, but we're doing our best. And as you can see, the LinkedIn community is growing steadily. I just was checking the subscribers there, so like it's not about thousands, but every month we have these green numbers going up. Twitter is also active. Discord, from time to time in different channels we can see activity, and which is really good. And like at the moment we are working on marketing slash community management, community growth strategy, in order to have it like aligned with the product plan, with the technical team plan. And among the tools that we are going to use, of course, it will be the connections with other communities, with other projects that already exist, that work. And we actually did it in Barcelona and had really nice conversations with people who were there. They gave us a lot of feedback from this point of view of WinSO, like all Win Barcelona, the DApp that we had. So it was really nice conversation, and I think that there was nothing like that before. So it's like a big milestone for us in terms of communication. Of course, we will try to move wider in reaching out to digital nomads, the people who are traveling and spending their time in various resorts or hotels or apartments. So like to understand their needs, and probably to create this first crowd of those people who are going to book with the tools that we are developing right now. And of course, like on the corporate side, we have Vincent, who is really doing a great job with pitching our product to the hoteliers, and with help of Simart, as Max was mentioning, we are trying to reach the bigger chains. Unfortunately, from what I've personally learned in Ferrara when we had this conversation with the team, that these communications are not that fast. They can take like years, really, like literally there are exchanges of emails like happening within 1, 2, 3 years. So it's very slow process, especially when we speak about the big corporates. So like we'll be aiming both like big and smaller hotels, and doing our best. On the other side, of course, I would love to encourage the community members and to help us here and to reach out. And well, we like as you can see, Discord is always like there are a lot of green people, and most of them are from the team. So like if you have any suggestions, like there is a channel that where you can come and just like whatever you want to do, and like there was Siam Stone, if I write the name in the right way. So like there was he just reached us out today on Discord and offering some help in design. So like he was very kind and saying like let me help here. So this is what we actually would love to get from the community. If you have any contacts, if you have any people who would love to contribute, or you can do something that doesn't take much time from you, just like make retweet, like make repost, or just like give your opinion on something that we need, it would be really nice to have. So let's change this pattern that we have at the moment of communication. It's just like from time to time. Let's have waves like that we are going to surf and enjoy the process both of creation and communication between the team and the community. And in order to move to these magic 3 letters that we would love to have, like the DAO thing.
Yeah, maybe we have some, I think, 2 more questions that we didn't cover yet from Nabil and Joseph. We have Nabil asking, just logged in, not sure if it has been covered, but good to know more about the Derbysoft relationship. So Derbysoft is what we call a switch, right? And there are some internal discussions on whether it's a switch or actually a channel manager, but let's not go over that. So Derbysoft is officially a switch, meaning that they can provide access to certain brands, certain hotel brands such as Hilton, Hyatt, but also to certain channel managers, and also PMS systems like Opera or Opera Cloud, right? It's easier said than done, right? Working with a switch doesn't allow you automatically to have live inventory. You still have to go to individual hotels or even groups to kindly request and negotiate a distribution contract, right? So Derbysoft provides that kind of initial integration, I would say, but that's not the only way that we're building the product on, right? Because we can't just rely on a single source of content, right? As we even though we have very fruitful discussions with Derbysoft and it's a great partnership, we cannot rely ourselves on Derbysoft alone, right? That's why we're also tackling this from a different angle. And going to hotels independently and seeing how we can provide inventory on the marketplace on Win, right, in the future without having to go through any third party, right? Max, I'm not sure if you want to talk a little bit about that, or do you want to do it in the next call, or?
I think I think people could be confused again, switch channel provider, channel manager, and stuff like that. So I think that stuff is mostly technicalities. I'm not sure I'm not sure it's useful to discuss this right now and here. So if there is, and maybe we should organize, an AMA or like a chat, sort of the fireside chat, as it's called. And just talk about that stuff, talk about hotel specifics, maybe bring one of the people from the hotel industry, from the hospitality industry, talk to them about all those things.
So that's basically cool. Derbysoft, right? Yeah, the question was about Derbysoft, and I think that's answered. Nabil, if there's anything else you want to, if you want to go into depth, feel free to reach out to either me or in public in Discord, and we can talk about that relationship. And then Joseph says, ask a question that has been has been raised a couple of times in the past. Believe it's also covered in the transparency report. Why is running tokens not on any exchange? Do you want to go over this again, or do you want to refer to the?
I think, Joseph, I really encourage you to read the reports, and we keep repeating the same thing over and over again. So check it out.
Any more questions from you, Vincent?
No, I think we covered it from
Okay.
YouTube. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much. And guys, we'll be live for some more minutes. If you come up with any further questions, please send them on YouTube or on Discord. And there was one, they may or other formats should be a regular must, not nice to have. Unfortunately, you are skipping this often, and the last minute do not announce it at all when there is no AMA. Yeah, this is unfortunate, and I will take this blame on my side, because we had some work to do, and the planning is not our strongest side so far, but we're definitely working on it, and waiting for like some community managers like Spencer, who was strongly involved into the process of this session, to join us back and work on a strategy on the process. So we have this communication, as I've mentioned a few minutes ago. We really want to have this flow, and do not to stress either us and you, the community. So like if we have this fixed on the certain date, and so we do have it, especially when we come to planning, we'll have a calendar of like conferences, as Max was mentioning, where we're going. So we have these sessions planned, so they are not overlooping themselves, like different events, different sessions. So we have to postpone, as it happened in the previous months. So apologies, and we will work on it. And with your help, with this kind of feedback that you give to us, we will improve. Thank you for that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And I guess I'm just gonna finish. I'm gonna finish with a very simple message that, in terms of working with the community, what I really would love to do is I would love to for all of us to work together. And I reiterated it so many times that my future, the future of the whole Winding Tree team, and the future of our community, and the contributions that were made back in 2018, we're all in the same boat. We're absolutely all, and we need to work together towards the goals that we outlined, towards the milestones, towards the end of the year, towards the goals that were described in the report. So let's do that. We need your help. If you can help us, if you can spread the word, when, I don't know, Vladimir or Vincent goes into Discord and says, hey, please retweet this. But, we need your help, and we need those retweets, and we need those likes, and we need you to, if you have access to people who travel, people who provide accommodation to travelers, or anyone else in the travel community. And again, I said it so many times, it is in the report as well, that travel people, they do not understand blockchain. So what you can do, at the very least, go to your closest hotel, knock on the manager's door, and tell them about blockchain, tell them about crypto, teach them how to use MetaMask. I mean, they will be grateful to you. You will feel nice. We will feel great. And the project will be moving forward. So let's work on this together. Again, at the end of the day, this is a collective project. This is a grassroots movement, and we have to organize. And over the course of the next few months, we will be bringing a lot more people into the community, people who are travelers, people who are hoteliers, other people who should be incentivized to be within this community. So hopefully, definitely, our communication will improve, the mood of the community will improve, and we will see a great success for Winding Tree very, very soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Max, for the speech. Thank you, Vincent, for the answers. I do hope that we covered the questions. Again, if any further, Discord, Twitter, any source that is comfortable for you, emails are also fine. So do it. And Let's go.
Let's do it, guys. Up and to the right.
Thanks.
See you soon and talk to you soon. Have a productive day.